We're going to jump right into editing, so make sure you've watched level 1 of this tutorial series so that you can follow along. Remember to load the example project for each chapter in this level. You can grab the top left and right triangles of an audio event and make the event fade in and fade out. You can even do this while the audio file is playing. You can also create fades by moving the cursor to the point where you would like the fade to end. Then go to the Audio menu and select Fade In or Fade Out to Cursor. Once you've made a fade, you can double-click inside the fade area and up pops the fade window. You can also select an event and go to the Audio menu and press Open Fade Editors. To quickly get going, you can pick from the fade curves at the bottom. And you can also pick the kind of curve. The first two make the curve always rounded. The third one makes sharp adjustments. Watch when I choose the left one and make changes. The curve can go outside of its natural boundaries. To prevent this, choose the middle one. I generally default to this one while working. You can add lots of points to fully adjust the curve as you wish. Just click anywhere on the curve or in the fade display to add a point. The great thing about this window is that you can keep pressing the Apply button to hear your curves while the audio is playing. Nice! You can store or apply presets and make this curve the default curve for all fades, meaning that when you apply a fade on another event, the curve that you specified as the default will be chosen. If you don't like the changes you've made, just click the Restore button. This will reset the fade. The Apply Length feature allows us to change the fade without going out of the fade window and changing it in the main project page and then opening up the fade window again. Change the length, click the Apply Length box, and then click Apply or OK. You can apply fades to multiple events at once. Just select all the events you would like to apply a fade to. Then simply drag the fade handles on one of them, and the same fade will be applied to all the selected events. If you already have a fade on one of your events, the fade will be relative. If you want to crossfade two events together, drop one of the events on top of the other so that they're overlapping. If you hover the mouse over the two audio events, you will see that the overlapping area is shaded. Let's select both events. Now go to the Audio menu and choose Crossfade. You can also press the X on your computer keyboard. You can make the crossfade range bigger or smaller by dragging the handles here. You can move the entire fade by clicking on it and dragging it left or right. All of this happens in real time. You can double-click on the crossfade to open the fade editor like we did before. There are a few extra options here. The top fade is the fade out of the first file, and the bottom fade is the fade in of the second file. You can choose equal gain so that a change in the fade out will show the opposite in the fade in. This means that the fade curves are adjusted so that the summed fade in and fade out amplitudes will be the same all along the crossfade region. This is good for short crossfades. If you choose equal power, there will be equal power or energy along the crossfade region. When you select equal power, there is only one editable curve point, and you cannot add any more. Notice that the Curve Kind buttons are also grayed out. You can addition the fade in, fade out, or the entire crossfade using these buttons here. To change the audition volume, use the fader here. To add pre-roll or post-roll to playback, you can use these buttons here. Just click on the button to activate it and enter a pre- or post-roll amount in the boxes on the right. This is great for getting an idea of how the fade is working. If you don't hear anything when you press these buttons, then maybe the control room is turned on in the VST Connections window. If it is, then find out where the volume is going out and listen through those speakers or headphones. If you're not sure how to use the control room, turn it off for now and you should be able to hear the audio through your main outputs. Make sure that you see our video on the control room in level 3 of this series so that you can fully take advantage of its features. You can store or apply presets and make this crossfade the default curve for all crossfades, meaning that when you apply a crossfade on other events, the crossfade you specified as default will be chosen. If you've adjusted the crossfade but wanted it back to the default crossfade, just click Recall Default. If you want to get rid of fades or crossfades on an event, you can select the event and choose Remove Fades from the Audio menu. You can also choose the Range Selection tool to make a fade in or fade out. Select the range you want to apply a fade to and then choose Adjust Fade to Range from the Audio menu. If you select a range that reaches the beginning of an event, a fade will be created. If you select a range that reaches the end of an event, a fade out will be created. If you select a range in the middle of an event, both a fade in and fade out will be created. Remember the default curve or crossfade will be used.